So a report just came in that 3.28 million Americans just applied for unemployment. And to just kind of put things in perspective, the second number, biggest number ever of people applying for unemployment was in October of 1982, where 659,000 people applied for unemployment. We went from 659 to 3.28 million. 100,000 Californians every day are applying for unemployment, especially now that they announced the $2.2 trillion stimulus, which some are saying it's $1,000 a month. Some of the reports you're reading, it's $600 a week. Whatever the number is, that's where we are today. So when you're looking at this stuff, this is not something we're accustomed to. This is not a number we're used to having this kind of unemployment. But at the same time, I was having a conversation with a few different guys saying, Pat, how do you protect yourself against a loss like this? I mean, you're in the insurance business, you're in the anticipation business. What do you do in something like this? What's the best kind of insurance for something like this? It isn't life, it isn't auto insurance, it isn't, homeowners insurance, it isn't cell phone insurance, it isn't any of that stuff, although that stuff has got a place for it. The most important thing today for a time like this is income protection insurance. And income protection insurance is based on a few things that you need to do. So let me set that part aside. Let me give you a complete different side that we have to look at. Look, 2001, 9/11 happens. 2008, market crashes. 2020, we have the pandemic. 2001 and 2020 have a lot in common because they're both a black swan. Nobody could have predicted it. 2008, a lot of experts could have predicted it. That's why Big Short movie came out. So what would you do at a time like this? There's three different types of people today. The first group are those that are relying on the stimulus to come. I can't wait for my unemployment and the $1,000 check and the $600 a week for 39 weeks. That's awesome. I can't wait for this. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to catch up on movies. I'm going to do all this other stuff. They're just so glad that the government's bailing them out. The second group is the one that's like, listen, I don't need government's help. I'm okay. I've saved money. I already experienced it once in 01. I didn't want to experience it again. I already went through in 08 when I lost a lot of money. I told myself that'll never happen to me again. I don't need the government's bailout. I'm going to be okay. I've saved money. I've been preparing for this time. I'm going to be fine. Then there's a third group of people that are saying, I am being forced to change, and Pat, I can't stand it. I don't like where I'm at right now. And the reality of it is we change in two different ways. One is by choice, one is by force. Many people today are being forced to change. So those of you that are in the third group where you're saying, I kind of want to make sure this never happens to me ever again, what do I do? Let me kind of give you a few things to be thinking about. Number one, these are the time when you realize the skill set of pivoting and adjusting. Whoever knows how to pivot and adjust, they have an edge over everybody else. Just know most people are going to watch what everybody else is going to be doing. A few people are going to be pivoting, adjusting with current times because, again, we've never been through this before to pivot and adjust. That's one skill set. It's a mindset you got to learn what to do. The other part, well, economically, to talk about the income protection is knowing what kind of skills pay today. For instance, if you don't know how to Zoom, you got to learn how to Zoom. If you don't know how to do webinars, you need to learn how to do webinars. If you're not a person that FaceTimes a lot, you need to learn how to do FaceTime. If you're not somebody on Facebook or social media or Instagram that goes live, you need to learn how to do that. If you're not a social media person, you need to learn how to do that. If you don't create content, you may need to learn how to do that. If you don't have a service to sell, that's not a physical product today, maybe you need to learn how to sell a service today. If you're not a good salesperson, maybe you need to learn how to sell today because those skill sets are required today. So when this happens, the income protection, the insurance policy for your income protection is knowing that you know how to make money when everything is fine, but you also know how to make money when the economic growth of 128 months in a row expansion stops. You also know how to make money in times like this because many people do. So again, first group, can't help you. Watch all the movies you want. Second group, you don't need my help. You're already doing fine. Third group, pivot, adjust, learn the skill sets, find a service, a product that you can sell today. And if you're not getting sales, go learn how to sell today. And in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, when everything recovers, you'll look back and say, you know what? I'm prepared for the next one. I don't want it to happen, but I just know every 10 years a crisis is going to happen. And when it happens, I'm definitely going to be protected. And the same thing's not going to happen to me as it did in 2020.